What you gonna do? Right up here.
In the 70s, starting with the idea that public schools needed to serve students with significant disabilities. And significant back then was defined as needing to have assistance eating and bathrooming, and if you had significant behavior disorders. You were not included in public schools. Then as you progressed through the 70s, it was, well, we need to think of more functional kinds of activities. And so you had the idea back then really started with more of the vocational training for people with disabilities on a very limited basis, but that's where that concept started to come from, was we needed to do something better than taking care of, but more vocational. So now what you've got in our environments is the ability to have our whole school's focus is on the needs of this very significant population. All of my students have autism as their underlying disability. And also, that doesn't mean all students with autism come to Mount Herman. It means students who then also have a significant intellectual disability. So all of mine also are what used to be called profoundly mentally handicapped. So those kinds of students really need to be in a specialized environment where the focus can be on them and where we have the flexibility within our setting to have them do the kinds of things that I'm doing. Great job, Dustin. Super.
Okay. You finished? Just your cup, the carton in the sink. Okay.
All right, Mr. Shaquille, are you ready? You ready for oatmeal this morning, Shaquille?
I'm gonna take your toilet and get ready for breakfast, okay?
All right, Shaquille, 2 hands, please. Thank you, nice job, Shaquille. You want your milk? There you go, good job, nice job, Shaquille. Down here? There you go, good job, Shaquille. All right, Mr. Nate. You ready, Nathan? All right, water. Good job, Nathan. All right.
Very good.
Made it. That's all right, Nathan. Ready? There you go, Nathan. And Miss Portia. Portia, ready? All right, Portia got oatmeal, and you got some fruit. Portia, you want your milk? And then Michelle will come over in just a few minutes, and we'll get her over here. And then what I do is I go around and emphasizing the more part, which is a math concept also, and trying to tie this in with access points, but it's also as far as them recognizing that they can ask for more, and they can show me that they want more, but they've got to participate in it. And our big thing is them always being engaged in it. It's not come over, put a plate down in front of them, and now eat, or we're going to feed you. They are eating, they're participating in it, they're making decisions about what they want and don't want. They have to be engaged in it. And that's the way we start the day, right from the beginning, from the time they get off the bus to the time that they get on the bus in the afternoon. So that's the next stage, is the more stage. Staff, I said I could come in with as many wonderful ideas as possible, but if I didn't have the staff as a true extension of me, then it wouldn't work. I couldn't run from student to student trying to do everything I want to do. The staff pick up on what I want to have done and how I want to have something done, and they carry it out just about as I would, and if not, then we talk about it and see how it needs to be different. We meet every morning. We meet quite frequently in the afternoon. We talk about the students, what we're going to do that day. But the staff are my most important tool in this classroom, because without them, I wouldn't be able to accomplish this. We've gone from scratch. I mean, there wasn't any of this kind of skill taking place with any of these students in August of 2012. So the 12-13 year, we learned a huge amount, and then we're using this year to start refining more and more those independent skills and just being participants in the day. I said there's no bystanders. Nobody's sitting off to the side waiting for people to do things for them. If they drop something, you'll see the staff will not pick up one of those schedule cards for them. If they drop it, they're to pick it up, just like you or I. If we're out somewhere and we drop something, somebody doesn't rush over and pick it up for us. So starting from something as simple as that says, I'm responsible for something and I'm supposed to be engaged in what's going on around me. Just consciously holding on to a bus ticket when they come and go from the bus. That says my brain has to be engaged in grasping this thing, and if I don't have it anymore, I need to recognize I don't have it. And if it's not there, then I've got the responsibility of turning around, looking for it, finding it, picking up. Just that one concept is a huge piece of starting out with getting these guys to say, I'm supposed to be involved in life. And really that was our basis for starting last year. And you'll see that concept underlying that and positive reinforcement, as much positive reinforcement for everything that we can do. Everything's kind of affected by the event before it. That's the transition piece that a lot of teachers have a problem with, is moving from one activity to the next. Being able to have, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 students, moving, doing something while the other 3 might be doing another activity, keeps the flow. And you'll see when we transition from the fitness to the different activities in fitness and then to our vocational, how that works. And that's one of the pieces that seems to be difficult for teachers to get organized with. And that's kind of the emphasis that I wanted to make in this video today, was how we go from activity to activity. With my guys, one of the big things we've emphasized also is age-appropriate activities. And so that's why you'll see us treating them as young adults. And so that gets into the choice making and problem solving, and them also helping us set equipment up, clean up afterwards. But a part of that is our morning routine is not the traditional circle time, let's talk about the weather outside or who's here or not here. We get into a fitness routine. So we do our morning wake up, and we do introduce it with a wake up kind of song to get everybody rolling after eating a big breakfast. And but then we'll literally get up, we march a few laps around the room, and we incorporated the step boxes where they'll be going up and down, over, under, around, those kinds of spatial awareness kinds of skills and body movement things. Then we also pick what fitness equipment. And so we start out the morning doing a lot of physical exercise, and then we'll transition from those activities into the vocational activities. All right, Mr. Shaquille, can you help and set up? All right, you're going to help carry? Okay, Shaquille. You can bring him over. All right, you got the hard one this morning. Okay, you're going to help carry? Good job, Shaquille. Good job.
You want me to leave that? Let's turn. Just turn it and watch the camera. Turn.
All right.
All right, let's walk.
Here, Nate, let's pick up one of the other poles. Good job.
Come on.
All right.
Watch where you're going. Watch where you're going, Shaquille.
We've been working on start, stop. It's a real safety issue for our guys. So we start out right from the beginning in the morning when we're coming in from the bus. We started out last year saying our guys need to learn to be part of a community of other people. Frequently people with autism shut out a lot of the world around them because they're overstimulated, and part of that causes them to want to isolate themselves. So what we need to do as part of this being engaged in their life and their world is try to get them to recognize other people and activities outside of themselves. So even from the morning, we all walk up as a group, because some of us walk faster than others. When we get to the top of the steps, we'll wait for the others to catch up, and we know we're waiting for so-and-so and so-and-so by name. And the waiting and stopping piece is emphasized then. We'll walk halfway down the hallway, we get to a certain point, we all stop and wait for the others to catch up. And when we come in the room, we know we'll sit and wait on our check-in procedure, and we have to wait or stop at different points throughout the day. And even here, when we're doing the Good Morning song, I use a electronic button to start and stop the song, so that we incorporate start, stop there. When we march, the other piece we added was the physical stop sign, and that came from a discussion I had with a parent and one of our students who's a major runner and has multiple disabilities along with the autism. She up until this year, actually, she would always bolt, just run right out of the house. So Mom was talking with me and said for the first time she called to the student and said, "Stop," and the student stopped. And that kept her from running into the street. And that was a major impact on me about just how important just that issue was. So the other piece that came about, I said, well, if any of our guys are running toward the street, the first thing that might stop them from going into an intersection would be a stop sign. So even if they don't get the language part of it completely, maybe just recognizing the symbol and the behavior that's associated with that symbol would help them maybe stop from getting run over somewhere. So we're using the go on one side and the stop on another during the marching time. So we're incorporating the cognitive is always incorporated in any of the physical that we do. And you'll see that in our vocational also, the problem solving, and I'll explain that a little bit later, but just push something as simple as pushing the cart. It took us months and months to get to that point, and today you'll see that it's almost just a natural kind of thing for them to do. But just getting the cart out the door was a major issue for them in the beginning. So they've come a long way on all this, but and the other piece I emphasize is there's no contrived activities in here. All of our activities are real world activities. The paperwork that'll be done this morning for the office services, they're real notices that need to go down, and tomorrow they'll be put in the teachers. We'll put them in teachers' boxes to go home with students. So our office services are real tasks. The custodial are things that need to be cleaned up. The recycling, I turn those cans in every 2 or 3 weeks for a fund that we're keeping, and we're taking a field trip to the zoo in a few weeks with it. The laundry, there are actual cloths being used by different classrooms that we pick up every day, wash and fold and deliver. So there are no contrived activities. Everything are real, and these guys pick up on that. They're real life activities that they're involved in too. Okay, guys, who's going to start? All right, Miss Portia, you're going to start the music for us. You're going to start.
Okay,
There you go. Good job.
Are you ready for a brand new day?
Good morning, good morning. How are you? How are you? It's so nice to have you here with me today. Stop the music. Stop the music. And Shaquille's going to start the music. I got to press a little bit harder there. There you go. Good job. Howdy, how do you do? Hello, good day. Now that we're together, learning so much fun. Stop the music. Good job. And Daniel's going to start the music. Good job, Daniel. Everyone, good morning, good morning. How are you? Just fine. Howdy, how do you do? Hello, good day. Awful. Okay, let's stand up and do our high-low circle.
That's a good girl.
Okay, Dustin, you're going to come up here with me up front?
Come on.
All right. Gosh. And we don't have Brandon and Brianna. It's a little circle. All right, Nate, you ready? Okay, stand here next to me. All right, we're good. Let me in between you guys here. Okay, there we go. All right, let's reach way up high and down low to your toes. And way up high and down low to your toes. And way up high and down low to your toes. Way up high, down low to your toes. One more. Nathan. High and down low to your toes. Nate, you gave out on us. All right. And we got to march with our laps. All right. All right, Mr. Dustin, you start us off. There you go.
You're the leader.
You're a leader, Dustin.
All right, listen. We're going to listen. There you go. Up and down. Around. Around. Remember, we got to watch the line. Okay. if I can work on them to not run out in front of a car, if I can work on them, just a parent to be able to take their child to a grocery store and not pull things off the shelf. So we do what are called CBI, community-based instruction trips, where we take them to Walmart, we take them to Publix, we take them out to places, farmers market. Public is getting more familiar with our level students. I think we'll find more opportunities for them, but they'll always need a significant amount of support. My guys aren't going to go out there and live on their own. They're not going to go out there and work where somebody can't help them with bathrooming, feeding, and behavioral issues. So you've got to have the support all the way through, and I think you see more of that now. Okay, sit down a minute for me, please. All right, Mr. Daniel, what do you want to get on? Show me which picture. You want the green ball, the black bike, or the glider? Which one do you want to get on first? Which one? You want the ball? The green ball? Okay, go find the big green ball. The big green ball, yes. Good job, Daniel. All right. Good, Daniel. And Mr. Shaquille. What's Shaquille going to get on? What are you going to do? The glider? The black bike? You want the glider? Good job. All right. You want to take him on over to the glider, please? Good job, Shaquille. Stand up. Take it to the glider. All right. And with the picture selection, what I usually do is, depending on the student, like I might just have one selection down there. And if the student needs to just visualize on one picture and we're still working on the act of picking a picture out, and my guys, we're still trying to learn to associate pictures with objects and attach the meaning. And it's good for them communication-wise. But the other piece that I try to keep in this is a realistic piece that says, if you want something, go and get on it, or go pick out what you want to get on. It's not all about pictures. And there you go. You're going to push and push. There you go. Push. And Mr. Shaquille, beginning of last year, would not even step up on this. And just, I always say they're discovering themselves, that they're saying, wow, I can do this stuff. For him to come over, he would shake and shiver, and he'd put one foot up and down. And it took us several months. None of them knew how to get on any of this or do any of this equipment.
Let's get this on. Good sitting, big girl. That's a good boy. All right. You're doing a good job. We're going to go and do one.
Okay, Dustin, you're going to help clean. Here, Dustin, you want to help me pick this up? Here, you get that in. Help me carry this.
I need you to stand up, Michelle.
Pick it up.
Stand up. Let's
There you go.
cart,
Got it?
please.
Okay, help me move it back this way.
Michelle, here's our cart.
Yeah, you've done a nice job.
Push, and Daniel is
Okay.
going to pull
Yeah, you can go get the ball.
this out of our way.
Nice job. We're going to go.
Come on, Daniel. Good boy. You get at the front, and you're going to pull,
Yeah.
and Michelle's going to push.
Okay. All right, let's go help clean up first. Let's put this ball, I'm going to put this ball over here. You can help clean up first, okay? It'll be waiting on you right over
Look,
here.
Daniel,
I'll
hold
put it right here.
Hold it open. Ah, good boy.
Okay, help clean up the boxes.
Stand over here. You stand. Good. Listening.
And again, the idea of just being able to push the carts out. What you're seeing took us months to accomplish last year. This whole idea of transitioning, first of all, then even getting used to wearing the vest. Then it was an idea of hanging onto the cart. Portia just getting her to where she would go out the door and even touch the cart took us months and months to do. And what we'll do as far as videotaping while they're finishing cleaning up, because I've got office services and custodial in here, but we'll come back to them in just a minute. We'll follow Portia for recycling just up here at a couple.
Good girl. Okay, your hand gotta go back on the cart. So if you take your hand off the cart, we can't move it.
We're going to push. We're going to push the cart.
That's right. That's good.
And something as simple as that is we know to stop, and then we continue with it when they put their hand on, whether it's the fitness equipment or the cart or riding the bikes, that again, they're not just a passenger. They have to hold on to it at some level, have to pick up.
Okay, put your hand on the cot.
You're saying, why are all these people following you?
Put your hand back on the cot. The cot can't move. You take your hand off there.
There'll be a couple of baskets to pick up down at that end, and when again we start with them just bending over and picking up a basket, then we moved into them being able to pour the basket into the recycle. Now we have two different types of cans we pick up, one steel and one aluminum. So if there's both kinds of cans in one of the baskets outside a classroom, we have to sort them, and after they pick up a basket, they wipe the baskets out. And again, Portia's going to do it at a different level than, say, Dustin's going to do it. And so we can be flexible with wherever they are individually. And so by doing real tasks, it is much more meaningful. I don't care who you are. You don't want to do something that's not meaningful. And you don't want to have the work you did be totally taken apart and then told to do it again. Let's do things that are real. And just like the recycling, they know that they sort the cans and they go and they put them in a central bin, and then each day we can, and depending on the level of student, you can take recycling, you can use counting, you can work on colors, you can work on the size of things that you recycle. There's so many academic kinds of tasks that can be built into this, whereas my emphasis is more of the behavioral, adult, functional tasks. Okay, we'll go down. Custodial's gotten started down there, so we'll get down.
Just see if any cans in here.
And the school participates with us on this. Any class that wants to, we create the baskets for them and maintain the baskets, and they sit them outside of the classrooms. And the laundry we'll get to in just a minute, but they're going around picking up the laundry from different classrooms. And each classroom has different colored washcloths, and then we have colored cards that go with them, and they match the cards with the washcloths, and we count the washcloths as they're taking them out, put them in the washer, and we come back, move them, put them in the dryer, they fold them, put them back in the baskets, and deliver them at the end of the day. A few years ago, the school system introduced, or it was part of a federal grant actually through the Exceptional Education Department. It was called the Vocational Enterprise Program. So you'll hear it referred to sometimes as the school-based enterprises. And they gave the different schools that had populations with significant disabilities grant money to start up enterprise programs. So you'll go to some other schools and see where they're doing higher level. They may be doing coffee preparation. All right, okay, all right. Yes, all right. Yes, we didn't get our hug yet. Yes, I know, yes. Okay, Miss Portia, you're doing a great job. Are you doing a great job, or are you just trying to get out of work? Okay. All right, push your cart. Thank you, Portia.
Okay.
The Vocational Enterprise Program. So in some of the schools, you'll see them making crafts, and they're might be doing specific services in the school. The real challenge was how to incorporate that concept with our level students. And with the PLA level students, you've really got to back it down. But what a lot of people, I think, overlook is how valuable this kind of work is for them. Not only is it valuable work they are doing, the learning that takes place, the change in their behavior, they are understanding that they've got a way to participate in their day now. And it's not just things being done to them, they are doing things to the world around them. And the behavior change in this class has been very significant. And again, they've redefined themselves into young adults. And it doesn't mean say we don't have any behavior issues, but they're so far reduced from what they were previously. So, and this is our custodial guys, Dustin and Nate.
Let's go this way.
Going to go up to the next door and show these. You want to show them how good you can clean that door and that handle, Dustin?
Dustin. Get the bottle. Spray. Spray. Okay. Okay, get your rag. Wipe it.
Type it down.
And see, a task as simple as this has so many complex steps to it that you could overlook.
Very good.
Not only is he
Easy
following
go.
directions,
So,
but he's just a,
Very
we didn't do any of the spray bottle until this year because they just weren't ready for it. Shaquille gets to be in a group by himself because of other people being absent, but what he's working on right now is picking up and handing, and we'll also have them count out papers. Like we may count, because counting for Shaquille is far above where he is, but we count and hand them things, and then and placing something in a box, taking it out of a box, pushing, pulling, you'll hear those kinds of words. And again, we may count, but then they'll have to put it in the box. Understanding that tasks that are meaningful to us are meaningful to my students. As much as they can't do, they also can do and are very much aware of the real world around them. But the quicker you can get to a real life functional task, the more you're going to progress skill-wise, behavior-wise. And I guess I always felt strongly about real-world functional tasks, but having just come into this classroom with these students, I've had one 9-month span with them last year, and now we're into our, 6th, 7th month of school. So that's the only contact I've had with these students, and 100% of what occurred this morning, they did not know and were not capable of doing, only because they had not had it presented to them prior to last year. So it shows what was sitting inside of them all this time. And I've had parents who are giving me feedback that say, now that they have to hang their book bag up at school, now at home I'm having them do that. Or now they're picking up things off the floor, or they're helping me at the sink, or they're carrying their plate to the sink.